is up and going. So there we go. Game 3 of our best of 3. CasualTom finding some good information, finding Heatman early. MetaLow decided to keep up with Flash. So we're going to see if that information that CasualTom has could be a deciding factor in this, as we got some Joes here in the initial throes of Flashman.
Yeah, and those are some tanky Mecha Joes as well.
MetaLow finding that our walls are not busted weak here, so we're gonna have to dig for a weapon later on.
Yeah, as a runner, if you see Flashman first, like, it's almost instinctual to stick with it. It's a quick stage, you have the potential, as long as you're not enemy blocked, to get an E-Tank at the end of it, which gives you a really good starting off point for your run. As CasualTom making his way through the longest walking section in the game.
Yep, it's, for those that have entered into the tournament, this is a zipless tournament. So the zip that you would normally see in this stage that CasualTom's in Bubble, you're not going to be seeing it. Any and all zips, depending on the nature of the zip, can be deducted time, have a time penalty up to a few seconds to outwatch disqualification depending on the circumstances of the zip. And we saw some very weird circumstances in Game 1.
Absolutely, as we have a very high jumping Crashman at the end of Flashman stage, as he is literally going so high he's getting stuck in the floor underneath the screen. But MetaLow having no problem taking him out, as CasualTom coming up to his first boss, which is Metal Man.
And to answer your question in chat, it does recognize the difference. So, as we see, CasualTom takes on Metal, as MetaLow finds Crash, unfortunately, very early. He's not going to be having items to speed the area up. The normal and easy mode pretty much is equivalent to the normal and difficult modes of the...
CasualTom on the brink of death there, but getting Metal Man down. And finding item 1 for his trouble, which is going to give him a huge advantage going into the next stage. Or going into Crashman, considering that MetaLow has to do this itemless.
So, continuing with the explanation to answer in chat, the normal and easy modes in this randomizer are similar to the US difficult and normal modes in the US version of Mega Man 2, as we got some Joe-friendly skies and airman stage. So, of course, the difficulties are scaled to those difficulties. So, in easy mode, it's pretty much, you know, half health for enemies, double damage for bosses, more item drops since you're on easy mode. But even with that, based on the randomizer and the attributes of the randomizer, sometimes it just doesn't help. You can still get some very nasty enemy placements, you still get some unfortunate luck with bosses, and so on and so forth. So while it does hold to the general principles of the normal and difficult modes, you're gonna still have some situations where enemies can be very annoying due to the nature of the randomization in this game.
And speaking of which, finding some little bit tanky dollar store Metroids on the second screen of Airman, or final screen of Airman. Seems like CasualTom taking it slow, not gonna cost himself a death, which is very smart considering what happened in Game 2.
And that is correct. This is the Game Boy 2 Mega Man theme for Hardman, as we find Heatman in air, and it looks like we got ourselves a Buster. Nope, I was wrong. The black screen kind of played an optical illusion on me, so this is going to be a bit of a lengthy fight. I'm surprised CasualTom is not checking the one weapon he has to see if it can make this fight faster.
As MetaLow finds Airman at the end of Crashman stage. In a little bit of danger here. Oh, pause buffering to victory!
Very clutch.
Oh, but getting blasted across the screen into a tornado that was almost off the screen. You hate to see it.
Yeah, an unfortunate time loss for someone that's not quite a bro this seed around, especially the fact that he's not Buster Southwick, so he had to take a unfortunate lengthy fight as we see CasualTom in Metal Man stage and find item 3 on Crash stage.
Alright, as MetaLow heading into Woodman stage, we got some tree crabs and some rabbits. We'll see how the bottom screen of Metal Man treats CasualTom here. And some sky crabs down there as well, another enemy you do not like to see.
Yeah, it seems like the factory is having a bit of a crab infestation, and right now it's only crabs. We don't know what else is in here. One of the things I have learned at this stage, it has a notorious section where there might be a fan here, but it's been all crabs.
Oh, there we go. Just another little bit of shellfish.
So CasualTom taking a literally casual stroll in here in spite of the crabs. Gonna see who's in. Well, we find Quickman in Metal Man's room. So
And
with a
it's
lot
not
of
buster susceptible either.
and a lot of boomerangs on the screen.
CasualTom, alright, threading the needle, getting it done.
And we got ourselves a vanilla looking top of the treehouse here with birds and space monkeys. Of course, due to positioning of the monkeys, they don't act like their vanilla counterparts and are hanging under the bamboo, but it's still vanilla monkeys nonetheless.
Yeah, that's the thing about Randomizer. Those monkeys, they want to get out of here as quickly as the runners do. They want to be done with this seed. They're just taking their ball and going home. As we find vanilla chickens at the end of Woodman stage here as well. Which MetaLow's going to take slow. He's going to farm a little energy here. Which you could hardly blame him because he was one hit away from death.
Yep, using the easy mode settings that were linked to the normal mode of Mega Man 2 US, where the drop rate is very high. Is this the third time I've seen Bubble in this room?
I do believe so. And I think that was the third time he was buster susceptible as well.
Bubble Man making himself very much at home in the trees here, as MetaLow is once again going through familiar territory in a Metal Man stage.
Yeah, but about a stage and a half behind because of finding that whammy of Crashman stage second.
So yeah, CasualTom having the advantage, especially thanks to having item 1 early. He will have that in his back pocket to go through Crashman stage very quickly. And I think, where did we find item 3?
Item 3 was at the end of Crashman stage.
Just want to make sure. So CasualTom finding Bubble, as we stated earlier, Buster Southwick, so a very quick fight on CasualTom's end. Meanwhile, MetaLow finding the crab infestation in the factory. But she'll be having an easy time here. There are one shot.
Oh no, MetaLow! He just jumped a pixel too soon on that long jump.
MetaLow showing more chinks in that armor here, making some very uncharacteristic situations here. As CasualTom finds Crash, he does have item 1, even though he won't have item 3 to make the Crash climb faster. The item 1 alone should help him save quite a bit of time compared to MetaLow, who came here itemless.
as we hear a little Boomer Kawanger stage music, which is absolutely appropriate for Crashman stage, as it is the vertical climb stage of Mega Man X.
Which actually is surprisingly fitting for those that are in the ROM hacking community. They know that this is technically a quote-unquote vanilla Crash theme. Shoutouts to Rockman2 ONN.
Yeah, as you can see, CasualTom making great use of those item 1s to make this first section of climbing so much faster. Ooh, almost getting knocked off though.
MetaLow's going to Airman stage where he's finding the Joe-friendly skies here. Gonna see how he's able to traverse it. This can still be a quite of annoying area here. Takes a couple of pot shots to the Joe armors, getting himself kind of in a squeeze play here, forced to use the E-Tank in order to survive.
Yeah, and as I didn't get a chance to point out earlier, when CasualTom was handling the screen, he did an excellent job of taking bullet damage instead of body shots, as he was damage boosting through a lot of these enemies.
Utilizing that time stopper to great effect, but it's also an energy drainer, and a very slow one at that. So
as we see Airman hanging in the sky, just biding his time to ruin CasualTom's day.
Yeah, that's another one of the time stopper's randomized attributes. If it's indeed a weapon drainer, as CasualTom just narrowly using the iframes to get that E-Tank on time. But yeah, if the time stopper is a constant energy drainer, the rate of drainage is randomized, and that was a pretty slow drain.
Absolutely. And I will have to point out how close that was. CasualTom was 1 to 2 frames away from dying there. He just got lucky enough to be able to open that pause menu and get that E-Tank.
So got CasualTom going to the Joe corridors in Flash. MetaLow finding Bubble as a pretty notable weakness for Heat, which is vanilla-esque. I don't know if it's a strong weakness or a secondary weakness, but still, it's a Bubble weakness on Heat, so it's vanilla enough.
Absolutely, and that's going to help him pick up a little bit of time lost.
So we got Bubble Man music in Flash stage, while we got Bubble Man stage in MetaLow. So if you can wedge the two together, you kind of got a vanilla-esque situation here.
Yeah, it's a little bit disorienting watching this. It's like, am I listening to MetaLow's stream or am I listening to CasualTom?
CasualTom was trying to take his time to probably get that E-Tank and probably get some information about these walls, but he opts to forego it and just go straight to the not the Crash, but the Flash boss room, which I think Crash was in the room.
He was in the room. You're right.
So my Freudian slip was actually a little more accurate than he gave credit for. Good job, me. But yeah, we got a high jumping Crash. And thanks to the absence of a ceiling, you're seeing a little bit of vertical wraparound thanks to the high jumps.
Alright, let's see. There's Quickman, so that leaves only Heatman stage for CasualTom, so I'm sure that CasualTom is really hoping that Item 2 is at the end of this stage, but how this scene's been going so far, I wouldn't take that bet.
MetaLow finding Metal Man. Hopefully he can do the manipulation. So, but he's also a fast spammer. So, nope, he got the manipulation. So, thanks to the water physics in which everything is affected, even Robot Masters, if Metal Man is in this room, you can basically force him to do a little bit of an underwater metal dance to the effect that he might not be able to shoot a metal blade at all, and you can just get quite a number of pop shots on him, as MetaLow finds heat with no item 2.
Alright, and we already got sky crabs. And lagphibians.
So we got some seafood cooking in the oven here with some boiled crabs and some frog's legs.
Crab boil sounds pretty good right now.
We got CasualTom finishing off the final sections of the force beam sections into slowly our quick man boss corridor. Gonna see who's our robot master in this stage. This is gonna determine if item 2 is locked in Heatman stage. As we get a Flashman sighting, who's a bit of a slow boy, moderate jumper, but also Buster Soft Weak, as CasualTom just makes short work of Flash. Meanwhile, MetaLow is using item 1, and we got ourselves a jackpot on CasualTom's end. MetaLow unfortunately is gonna have a time loss thanks to having to be forced to do the Yokus regardless of the matter.
Absolutely, but I always love seeing an item 2-less Heatman stage, just to see how expertly some of these runners can handle this Yoku block section, as MetaLow did, with no problems whatsoever, not even blinking.
But yeah, thanks to the fortunate routing, in spite of the hidden stage names, CasualTom's advantage has now probably grown to pretty good, decent levels to say, unless something crazy happens on Tom's end, this could be Tom's race to lose. But we still got the Wally stages, love, and anything could happen. Also, once again, it's a Woodman. Once again, it's a false start leaf shield, and once again, it's a slow falling set of leaves. I think we're 3 for 3 on that AI pattern as well.
Yes, you would be correct.
Taking some side notes as we learned that item 1, even though we did see it first on MetaLow's end, it is a static and short-lived item 1.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is really really indicative of the rule set this year with these hidden stage names, because MetaLow has been making very quick work of some of the bosses that CasualTom took a little bit longer on, but just because of the stage selection, just finding himself in quite a deficit time-wise.
So we got CasualTom on this final Robot Master. We got a Buster Soft Weak Woodman, and that's pretty much all 8 Robot Masters down on CasualTom's end. So stealing a bit of Ari's thunder here. For the third and final time of this tournament match, we do have the best eyebrows in video gaming. Dr. Wily has appeared in front of us, so you know what time it is. It's time for our favorite game. We got a randomized color for a dragon. We also got a randomized weakness for the dragon. It's up to you, chat, to guess both of them. Guess that color for the dragon, and for those bonus points, guess that weakness as well.
Well, you want to take the first one, since we've been alternating here?
I'll be nice. You can go first again.
Alright. Well, considering the color palettes we've had so far, I'm gonna go with just a really gross looking yellow and gray dragon. And I'll give it to him. Let's give it the old Buster Week treatment.
We're gonna go for the natural classic dragon color of green, and we're gonna hope for, let's be interesting. Dragons breathe fire, let it be weak to fire. Atomic fire for the weakness.
As MetaLow now we find, he's about half a stage behind CasualTom, but hot on his heels. One mistake could definitely make the difference in this race still. So it is anybody's game.
Yep, you gotta remember, this is still based on Mega Man 2. There are no boss checkpoints, so if CasualTom does die in the Mega Dragon for some odd reason, that is just enough time for MetaLow to make a comeback. But right now, MetaLow is struggling to get the item 2 placement correct and decide to huff it, not using item 2 to fly over the rest of this part of the stage.
Alright, what do we have? Another Seafoam Dragon.
Not much has been changing in this randomizer between seeds, hasn't it?
No. And it is not Buster immune. Checking Bubble. That Bubble behavior is exactly the same as it has been in the first 3 seeds as well.
But
not
there is
Boomerang.
She gonna check for Metal. Metal's not it. He gonna take the hit, but Fun Crash. Crash is a good explosion duration, but that's not it. Checking Air. Air is a very awkward air to use. He's not gonna check it. And that
Goes
is
fine Leaf Shield, but he's in danger. He's gotta take an E-Tank here.
This dragon is causing quite a number of problems, but he decides to keep the Leaf Shield. It is inverted coming from the left, I think. Or maybe not. The flickering was kind of a little sketchy. I couldn't tell if it was inverted horizontally or not. But regardless, that was a Leaf Shield weakness. And from the rest of it, it looks like there's a possibility of either air or heat being the second weakness.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can confirm it was not inverted on the horizontal axis. Yeah, is MetaLow looking for his weakness here? Oh, and taking a death! Oh no!
The physics of Mega Man 2 biting MetaLow. Remember, in Mega Man 2, you have a little bit of a slide before it running to a halt. He was just in that wrong pixel position where the sliding just careens him off that single tile platform. This is really unfortunate here. That is an insane time loss.
And that's gotta be absolutely heartbreaking for MetaLow. I mean, it breaks my heart to see that.
And at this point, we're almost, unless lightning strikes and CasualTom like has a power outage of some sort. Not that I'm wishing it, but we're gonna have ourselves our top 3 that is all full of Group A. If the pattern continues.
Alright, let's see how this Pico fight treats Tom. And he gets a Lazy Leaf.
One of the god
He's
weaknesses
taking a
of this
lot of
fight.
damage, though.
Yeah, he needs to get out of that Leaf Shield and take that safety. So yeah, Leaf Shield, if you're in this situation, you can pretty much just sit back and just let the fight itself. See, we really don't even have to say anything. Leaf Shield is just doing the work for us.
I definitely empathize with that Pico though, just, you know, fighting itself every day.
But yeah, we got CasualTom taking out a very easy Pico fight. Going into Wally 3, I don't think he checked walls yet. So at this point, he's still going into Wally 3 with not much information about walls, unless we assume that he already checked for Buster, which probably... Oh, what did MetaLow find?
He found Air Shooter as a wall weakness.
So that's at least that's information on MetaLow's end. So we know that Air Shooter is the wall weakness and will not be the weakness for the Picos. So that does leave the scene wide open for Leaf Shield or Metal Blades to be a potential weakness for Boo Beam. To answer your question in chat, the randomizer coding for some enemies is kind of odd, so much so that it's very hard to place some enemies in the randomizer. So like the fish you see in Wally 3, the angler fish that usually spawns the shrimp in Bubble Man stage, in which the spawning shrimp is its own randomized enemy set, you probably will not see those in the randomizer because the coding for the randomizer just makes it kind of hard for them to be placed in place.
As MetaLow finding that lazy leaf right away, it still could potentially be a hiccup here for CasualTom if this Wily 4 stage gives him trouble. It is why we call it the Great Equalizer, but MetaLow would have to have a lot of time made up.
Well, we can only hope that Wally 4 could be a little bit of an issue here. Of course, we shouldn't expect CasualTom to have trouble with these randomized fake floors in these two screens of the stage. So it's all going to be dependent on our quote-unquote anxiety rooms, whether there actually be anxiety rooms or literally rest homes. CasualTom opted to take the detour to get the E-Tank. Don't know how his E-Tank count is looking, but he can afford to take the safety. MetaLow is far behind enough.
It is a little bit of a dangerous play, though, because you do not know where a competitor is in these runs.
Thanks to Chad recognizing that CasualTom did only have one E-Tank, so the detour to get to safety was pretty justified.
Yeah, as CasualTom is going to have no problems getting through this last screen here.
Yeah, pretty much a set of rest homes in these quote-unquote anxiety rooms.
Oh, and MetaLow takes a death to Guts Tank! Oh no!
This is some very uncharacteristic gameplay for MetaLow. I have noted that if the randomizer can definitely screw up MetaLow if the C wasn't fortunate enough, but these are just regular errors on MetaLow's end. Anyway, we find that Metal Blade is not it, V-Shield's not it, so we're gonna have to do some searching. Of course, CasualTom does not know the weakness for the walls yet, so he's gonna have to take some time to search for weaknesses, which is air.
But the air missed the wall, so he's not gonna check it again.
Well, he's gonna have no choice. He's gonna have to double back somewhere to double check for that weakness.
Alright, there we go. My heart stopped there for a second. Just flat out stopped.
Now it's time to check that boobing weakness. Is it crash? Oh, thank goodness it's not crash again.
Considering how these seeds have been, I certainly wouldn't be surprised. But he finds Quick Boomerang and gets it down onto refights for CasualTom.
And with a pretty significant advantage, once again, it's basically CasualTom's race to lose. So as CasualTom begins his refights, MetaLow is going through Wily 4, hoping that he's able to at least try to finish. Because right now, with the deaths he had right now, he might not be in a good state mentally.
I certainly know that I wouldn't.
So CasualTom on his third Robot Master, just pretty much just going through the stages at a pretty decent clip. No major issues right now, although E-Tank situation could be a little bit dicey as he only has 2 left.
Oh no, and MetaLow taking a death in the anxiety rooms!
Once again, the Mega Man 2 physics proving fatal for MetaLow. That extra bit of sliding momentum diving him straight into the pits without him being ready for a pause buffer. And he's not moving. Yep, I seen it at IRC. MetaLow officially forfeits from the race.
So all CasualTom has to do is finish this run, and he will be our winner.
And we're pretty much assured of full Group A top 3. That's a really unfortunate to see a runner of MetaLow's caliber just go down in a situation like this. But it was not really the seed itself that kind of took him out, but it was, well, no, yes it was, because it's all really started with hitting Crashman second. He was already in a deficit to begin with, and CasualTom was just much luckier on the draw. And then with the added unfortunate deaths, and Wily won, and in this stage, it wound up just being the straw that broke the camel's back.
Absolutely, and like I said, my heart breaks. I mean, we had such a good game on our hands, and MetaLow had such a good run in the tournament.
So with this, with a Buster Week Wily Machine to boot, our last year's champion has fallen. So right now, we only have one reigning champion left, and that reigning champion, Prodigy, is going to be waiting for the winner between the loser's final match between CasualTom and Mega Cow as soon as CasualTom finishes this run.
As CasualTom pulling into Victory Road, let's see him finish up his alien fight.
Yep, all there's left is just to find out the weakness of the dragon, and we're pretty much good to go here for the finishing touches of this race, which up to this point was still very good.
Alright, let's see what we have.
Did I say dragon? I did not mean to say dragon. That blasted, all these seeds are starting to blur together in one convoluted, jumbled up mess. Try keeping me honest.
As CasualTom finds Air Shooter, and a big GG's to CasualTom, winning Game 3 and taking the match with an official SRL time of 32 minutes and 43 seconds. Big congratulations to Tom.
GG's to both our runners. Both played extraordinarily good, and when they played extraordinarily good, but of course the randomizer can be a cruel mistress. And both runners had their issues with the randomizer. It's just that MetaLow just has such a rough start finding Crash second.
As we have Tom joining us here for an interview. Good games, Tom. GG's, my friend. Congratulations.
Wow. Yeah, it wasn't quite the result I was expecting. Getting pretty nervous there going into Game 3 because, Game 2, that was, I felt really good about how I was doing, except for, of course, the one really costly death. And sure enough, I had to blame it on that. I was like, wow, he must have not made any mistakes. He must be all warmed up by now to make it through that second seed that quickly. Because I felt good about how I was doing. I was finding weaknesses, just that one major thing. But, yeah, that's... God, that first seed, though. We're going to talk about that Wily machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that Wily machine was not the best for you, Tom. Go ahead and just talk us through it.
Well, going in a little bit lower on E-Tanks, I've been, trying to get a little bit more comfortable with having less E-Tank, and it's kind of gone against me in practice at times, and when it worked against me again, I think, today. Yeah, good thing I was surprised how many lives I had. It's a good thing I didn't give up, just trying to look for more weaknesses, and then somehow that fourth maybe time I fought him, I found the charged atomic fire, and then I was able to avoid all the shots, and then I was able to melee him with the bubbles. I think that's how I killed him. My God, what a nightmare without E-tanks. And without weapon refills, too. Like, I think some of the, like, Leaf Shield I was using at first, and, you know, it's more, like, melee range, like, riskiness, and then, you know, and accidentally refilling on weapon energy because it's all right there, like, right underneath the Wily Machine.
Yeah, MetaLow was definitely on your heels when you were struggling with the Wily Machine, but MetaLow had some issues in the first race as well. Actually, the first and third races, MetaLow it kind of just wound up just falling apart for him, especially in the third race where he wound up fighting Crash very second, so that time loss was already there, and then by the time the Wily stages went, it kind of just went downhill.
I can imagine.
But meanwhile, Tom, regardless of the matter, you still maintain your consistency as you have done throughout this entire tournament to this point to make it the top 3. How you feel reaching it this far?
It's, you know, an honor, and it's a bit of a surprise. It feels very good. And if I can say anything about it, I can just say practice pays off big time. Like, every seed you roll matters. Like, you'll learn from literally every single thing they try and throw at you. So, I mean, that's, like, what happened. So, I think coming out of the group stage, you know, Group A, we all got our races done as quick as we could. We did a pretty good job out that. We were, I think, one of the faster groups, like, just kind of getting all done, which kind of says a lot for a 5-person group. And then there was a big gap between there and when the actual bracket started, where I wasn't practicing, and then Kyle was practicing a lot for that race. So, after I lost to him, I was like, well, I finally get this Buster Only race against Kame Senin, which I was really looking forward to. So, I want to make it a good race. I'll practice the Buster Only, and, you know, to my surprise, I made it through there, and I just kind of kept up the practice. I was like, well, now I'm just practicing, and let's just see how far I can take it. And I never really stopped. I've been probably practicing a good 5 nights a week, just like a seed or two. I don't finish seeds every time, but it's, I think, made a difference.
Speaking of Group A, you do know that the top 3 is all in Group A. Not only that, in order to win...
GG's, guys.
In order to win the rest of this tournament, you got to go through a gauntlet of 2 insanely strong Group A competitors. Of course, first things first, how are you feeling about your chances against Mega Kyle?
So, you want to talk about a grudge match? You used that term when I was going up against Crab Cakes. So, Kyle, I beat him 2-1 in the group stage. Then he beat me 2-1 in the brackets. So, this is about as grudgy as you can get. So, that's really about all I can say. Yeah, it definitely had crossed my mind that, you know, we got all Group A's in the top 3. And I'm also pleased that Group A never lost to anyone that wasn't in Group A. Never, will not, in 2020.
Actually, that is an insanely good point, because I did bring this up. No one in Group A lost to anyone except someone in Group A.
A tier.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and then just the way that the brackets got organized too. I mean, it's I don't know, just call it fate, I guess. We are kindred spirits, and you know, that's I got shout out to Prodigy, Kyle, Crab Cakes, and Iraq Vet. We're all Group A, 2020, so it lives on for another year.
Just saying that the randomization of the brackets in the group phases were indeed randomized. We did not plan this in the slightest. It just happened that way.
I'm aware. But yeah, Charlie even apologized to me for that. And I was like, well, Charlie, here's the thing. I've been looking at it this way. There's like a 50-50 chance I was going to race someone from Group A anyway. And sure enough, I get to race just about everyone from Group A. I'm going to try and stay warmed up, you know, going into whatever race against Kyle. Hopefully we can schedule that soon. I might even see if we can do it in a couple days, but I mean, I got to check some things first. Worst case scenario, within a week, I'm sure.
But yeah, once again, congratulations to you, CasualTom. Looking forward to your match with Mega Cal and Ari. Do you have any other side questions for Mega Cal as we begin to wrap this up?
I do have a ton of questions, but unfortunately, I do have to take off. I wish I could have a little bit more of a conversation with you about these seeds, because it looked definitely challenging in some spots, especially that first seed.
That first one especially, yes. The second and third weren't terrible, to me.
But I do want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank LV Creed for being in the booth with me, 2% Chungus as the All-Star Pro Tracker, and everyone at SpeedGaming for letting us put this on. But you guys are more than welcome to continue with the interview. I do have to go, unfortunately. Hope you guys have a great night.
Thanks, Ari.
Yeah, shout out to Ari, one of our newcomers to the randomizer scene as well, and one of the newcomers to the commentating booth. Always glad to have Ari here. So with that, Tom, do you have any other final words before we wrap this up?
I did want to kind of acknowledge that Kyle and I raced together last Sunday night at the weeklies. That will be taking place again this evening. I can never really know for sure if I'm going to be there until like within 5-10 minutes before it happens, honestly. We'll see. Could be there tonight. I want to thank him and Squidman, Siberian Bull, and 2% Chungus, and all the other people that have been racing against me on Sunday nights when I've been showing up. That's going to be 5 hours from now again. Check the Discord if you're interested. There may be a multi-Twitch to watch. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Creed. Thanks Chungus for tracking, and thanks to the community. Anyone can join. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, it would not be a waste of your time.
But once again, GG's to Tom. GG's to our defending champion, MetaLow, who unfortunately has lost this match and ends in a 4th place finish. But of course, stay tuned to the the SpeedGaming network of channels for when our losers finals between Mega Kyle 83 and CasualTom will soon take place. Of course, thanks to SpeedGaming as a whole for allowing us to showcase this tournament. Of course, Duckfist for creating the tournament to begin with. Charlie Boy for being the organizer of this tournament. And with that, of course, shoutouts to Ari, who had to duck out to take care of his IRL situation. Chungus for being the tracker of the Mega Man 2 tournament. And with that, this is your boy LV Creed. Continue to keep an eye out for the last. We're in the finals. The last 2 matches of the tournament. I hope to see y'all soon to catch these 2 final matches. So with that, this is your boy LV Creed signing out. Take care, everyone, and stay tuned for the next time for the thrilling conclusions of the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament. Take care, everyone.
Thanks. Take care.